Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking you guys through and showing you what Jackson eats in a day. If you guys are new here, first of all, welcome. My name is Kayla and I am a mom to 2 little ones. I've got Riley, who is almost 3, and then Jackson, who is almost 1. So he's about 10.5 months now, and we've had some issues with him gaining weight. When I went to take him into his 9-month doctor's appointment, he was in like the 2nd percentile. Basically what we did is we spent an entire month fattening him up, and that's what I'm going to show you in today's video. So we got him from the 2nd percentile to the 10th percentile in 1 month's time, and I'm just going to basically show you guys what we did in that month to get some extra calories in him and all of that. So I'm hoping that this video will be helpful if you guys are also struggling with a little one who isn't gaining weight. And look at the kids, look at them right now. This is the current situation right now. I took out the ball pit yesterday, so Riley's playing in there, and this is little Jackson. So I'm hoping that they'll play so I can prepare his breakfast. Okay, so first things first, Jackson still is nursing. So the first thing that I do in the morning, like around 7:30 or 8 when he wakes up, I bring him into my bed and he does like a full nursing session. Then we come downstairs and we start breakfast, and usually what I'll do is I'll give him a little bit of fruit in his high chair. So here's some kiwi for him to just kind of, you know, eat and play with while I prepare his oatmeal cereal. He's really into kiwi now. It doesn't have to be kiwi. He likes strawberries. Sometimes I'll put bananas here, raspberries, just depending on what we have and what I want him to try that day. If you are new here, we did do some baby-led weaning with Jackson, and then we kind of had to switch to more like puree style while we were trying to fatten him up, and you guys will see that in today's video. But starting at like 7 months, we did finger foods, and we started letting him try to like feed himself different things. So he's done pretty well, like picking up foods on his own and feeding himself. So that is something that we're really happy about. So I've been trying to like rotate through like different fruits and veggies so that he kind of gets used to trying new things. All right, so now we're gonna move on to the oatmeal that I've been making him every single morning. So basically the biggest difference between the oatmeal I used to make him and the one that I make now is that instead of mixing this with just water, which is what I used to do, now I mix it with formula. And this is the formula that we've been using for Jackson. So when we took Jackson to his 9-month appointment and the doctor told me that he was underweight and all of that, she recommended that I start giving him some more formula in his diet to make sure that he was getting some extra ounces in. The problem with that was that I tried giving him just a bottle of formula and he hated it. He would spit it out, he wouldn't drink it. So what I had to do is try to find a way to get some more formula in his actual food. And one of the easiest ways to do that is to put it in his oatmeal. So to make that, all I do is I take this little bottle that has like the ounces on the side so I know how much is here, and I fill it up with 4 ounces of water. So what I'm doing is I'm making 4 ounces of formula. And I know that there are screaming children in the background, forgive me, but that's just my life. Then I get the formula and I get 2 scoops of formula, because when you're making formula, it's whatever amount of water halved is the number of scoops that you get. And then I just shake up the bottle and just mix that all up. Most babies will just take this and you can just give them a bottle of formula and that'd be great, but Jackson has not liked that, so it's going in his cereal. So what I'll do is I will pour this into the bowl, and then I'll just add in some of this cereal. This cereal I get on Amazon, by the way. I get a pack of 2 on Amazon, but they also have it at the stores. So I'm just gonna add this in, and then I'll show you the consistency that I look for. So I kind of just go stirring it until I feel like it's not too watery, but also not super like clumpy, because you know, I don't want it to be super hard for him to eat. So that's a little bit still kind of watery, but I think it'll be fine. And then what I'll do is I'll add in a little bit of peanut butter. This peanut butter is expensive, but I get it on Amazon. But I like it because the ingredients are literally just organic peanuts. So if you're trying to give your baby like a healthier peanut butter, you don't want peanut butters that say like, you know, canola oil or like different oils and stuff. You really want the only ingredients to be peanuts, and basically that's it. This one is one that I found. I really like it because it's also kind of liquidy, so it's easy to mix in there. If you have like a super like stiff peanut butter, then I'm always worried that he's gonna like choke on the peanut butter. So this one, so you can see, I just like go like that and just add a little bit of peanut butter in there, and then I'll mix that up. That's just a great fat for him to get into his system. And then the last thing that I add in there is this ground flaxseed. So I just take a little bit and just add that into his cereal. That's just another one of those things that's good to add whenever you can. So this is what his cereal looks like. He hasn't completely devoured his kiwi, but he's also teething. He's getting his top teeth. So I don't know, that's kind of made him a little bit fussier during meal times. But anyway, now I have his cereal and I'll just sit here and try to feed it to him. I have been spoon feeding him a lot lately just to make sure that the food isn't going everywhere, but every once in a while I'll still give him like his little easy peasy mat, and I'll give him his little utensils so he can still work on feeding himself. But most of the time if I'm in a hurry, I just kind of feed it to him myself. And then he does this little dance and I have to kind of wrangle him in. Let's go, little buddy. right, so he ate almost all of his cereal. He left a couple spoonfuls, but that's not too bad. So that's pretty much breakfast. I try to make sure at least once a day to give him that bowl of oatmeal because it's like the easiest way, like I said, to get some extra formula ounces in his system. So sometimes if I wasn't making it for him for his breakfast, I would give it to him for lunch or even dinner sometimes. So it's not like it had to be at breakfast, but usually that's just like the easiest time to do it. Other things that I've been giving him in the morning, like every once in a while, are eggs because I do want to make sure that he's still eating eggs. Eggs are high in protein and all of that. He does like scrambled eggs, so eggs is also like a good breakfast thing. Avocado toast, so you can also toast, like lightly toast a little piece of bread and then spread on some avocado. That's high in fat, and that's one of those things that the doctor told me to try to give him a lot more in his diet if I'm trying to like get him to gain some weight. So that's really all he's gonna eat now. The other thing that we'll do is now, like when he goes down for his first nap of the day around 10 a.m., he's gonna nurse again because I pretty much nurse him to sleep. So he'll get another nursing session then, and then I'll check in with you guys again when it's time for lunch. All right, so it is 12 o'clock now and Jackson is up from his nap. So I'm gonna feed him his lunch. Normally what I do again is I'm gonna put him in the high chair with like a little snack for him to play with while I get his lunch prepared. This time what I'm gonna give him are these little Happy Baby puffs. He loves these. He gets so excited when I give him puffs. So this is just something that I'll put on here, and you know, he can just eat these while I heat up his puree. All right, so for lunch, I'm gonna give Jackson some of this puree that I made for him, like homemade puree. Well, I'm not gonna give him this one because I have one still from my old batch. So these are like the homemade purees that I've been making him. Let's talk about these real quick. So these have been super easy to make. If I made it, like it's very easy. So this one was sweet potato and chicken breast. So what I've been doing is I've been baking in the oven just a plain chicken breast with a little bit of olive oil, no salt, no pepper, just a plain chicken. And then I'll just like chop that up, and then while that is baking in the oven, I will boil some water and then put some sweet potato in the boiling water just to get them like a little bit soft. And then once that's ready, I take my Ninja blender, I throw it all in there, I put a little bit of olive oil, I put a little bit of that flaxseed, and that is it. So that's what this one is, just the sweet potato with the chicken. This one I did a little differently last night. I did chicken with regular potatoes, and then I also added some broccoli in here. So I'll link these little containers for you. They are great for just like storing the food. But this one is a little newer, so I'm gonna keep this one in the fridge. And then by the way, like when I didn't have homemade baby food, I was giving Jackson these like from the store, the sweet potato and chicken ones. These are great, like any of the stage 2 ones that had some kind of protein and veggie in there, that's what I would give him at least once a day. So either for lunch or for dinner, sometimes 2 times a day. But it was important to kind of get that protein in. I also had these like little single ones of protein. So like a little thing of chicken like this. And sometimes what I would do is I would mix these 2 together. So I'd take some kind of like a veggie or sometimes a fruit, and I would mix it with like a whole thing of this chicken, or I think the other ones that I have are like turkey. So this was a meal at least once a day. So I think that that definitely helped him to gain some weight there. But let's talk about what I do to this to make it even like heartier for him and to help him get even more of that formula in here. So I will mix this with formula, and it's really easy to do. It's not something that I had initially like thought of doing it until, I don't know if somebody recommended it to me or my mom told me, hey, maybe you can add formula. What I've been doing is when I make the puree from scratch, again, not hard at all, what I'll do is I'll make it so it's still a little thick enough so that when I add the formula, it doesn't get watered down too much, because if you make this super liquidy, then it's hard later to make sure that it's not like a soup. So I'm just gonna take one of his little bowls, and when I mix the puree with formula, I only do 1 ounce of formula. So I'm gonna, again, take the little water bottle and get 1 ounce of water. And then if I'm doing 1 ounce of water, I'm only doing half a scoop of formula. Just pour that there, do the same thing, mix it up. And then what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna mix this formula. First, I'm gonna heat it up for like 20 seconds so that it's just a little bit hotter. Jackson enjoys it when it's not like freezing cold from the refrigerator. But that is the consistency right now. You can see that it's a little chunkier. So let's just put this in the microwave. So now that it's a little warmer, I think he ran out of puffs. Now that it's a little warmer, what I do is I take the formula and I'll just pour that in there. And then you do have to mix it a bit, and you know, you want to make sure you don't spill it everywhere. But then this is just gonna make it a little bit more liquid. And then if you get it to the point where it's like very much a soup and it's very liquidy, what you can do is you can add a little bit of that oatmeal cereal in to thicken it up. I've had to do that a few times. there's nothing wrong with that because then you just get, you know, extra cereal in. And so now I have his lunch prepared and I have an extra ounce of formula in his system. So he had the 4 extra ounces with breakfast, another ounce here for lunch. If you did this again at dinner, then that would be another ounce. So that's just how I've been getting a little bit of that extra formula in his diet without giving him a bottle, since he just won't drink it from the bottle. Little man's still not done with his puffs. So once he's done with his puffs, then, did you just burp? Say excuse me. But once he's done with that, then I'll start him on the puree. And thankfully he's done really well with the puree. Like the ones that I've been making him, he hasn't really given me a hard time. So yeah, I'm just gonna give him this. Before, when we didn't have like this weight issue, I would give him like similar things, like whatever I was eating for lunch. Like if I was having a quesadilla, I would give him just like little pieces of shredded chicken and some of the tortilla. I think in the last video that I shared, and I'll link them down below, the other like what my baby eats in a day videos, I'll leave them linked down below. But I think in that video I shared, like I put some avocado, like just spread avocado on a tortilla, gave him some of that. He really likes cheese. Sometimes I would do like just some shredded cheese on his tray and he would really like that. You know, you can also do things like toast with peanut butter, toast with almond butter. He was really going through a phase where he would just eat pretty much anything that I would put on his tray. Like peas he would eat, broccoli not so much. That's like the one thing that I've shown you guys before him eating that he literally just spits it out. I don't know if it's the texture or the taste, but the important thing is really that you just keep exposing them to different things so that they don't get to the point where they get so picky and they don't want to try anything new. So little dude, come on, you're taking forever to eat 2 puffs. He's a very slow eater. You ready? Can we eat some lunch? Let's do it. And of course today I have to go and jinx myself, but he didn't really want to eat the puree too much, so I'm offering him a couple little slices of bananas. And I kind of put them like that so that they're kind of standing up so that they're easier for him to grab since they're so slippery. But today he's chomping away on those bananas. All right, so he's had quite a few bananas. Like I keep putting more on his tray. And then the last thing I'm gonna do for his lunch is I'm gonna give him a little bit of water in the sippy cup. He loves water. Like he gets super excited to drink water for some reason. When he sees this cup, he goes super crazy for it. But this is just like a little straw sippy cup from Munchkin. And I like that it has like the handles and all of that. I do get a lot of questions from you guys asking like how I got Jackson to drink from a straw and all of that. I don't really know. I know that the first thing that I did when I was introducing water is I started giving him just like an open cup, and I would just like put it to his lips. Obviously I wouldn't give it to him, you know, for him to have it, you know, by himself, but I would put it to his lips and he would kind of learn that, you know, you kind of have to suck a little bit to get some water. And then sometimes when I was drinking my water cup, I would put it on his lips so that he could have some water. And then the other thing that I did that I noticed that he had to learn how to suck with is I would give him those little food pouches, like the baby food pouches, and in order to get the food I wouldn't just squeeze it all so that, you know, it was out. I would kind of make him work for it. Like maybe I would squeeze it out the first time, but then after that I would make him do it on his own. So maybe that helped, but he's always done really well drinking from a straw. And then as far as like when we started offering him water, we started offering him water whenever we started introducing solid food. So probably like around that 7-month mark, because the doctor said that when we started giving him some purees or table food that it's good to incorporate a little bit of water into his diet. Not a lot, like I don't give him an entire cup full of water, just a couple ounces a day so that he stays hydrated in addition to like the milk that he's drinking. All right, so it's a little later now. It is about 4 o'clock. Jackson has the hiccups. He was hanging out with me upstairs. Usually Jackson takes an afternoon nap like at around 2, and I do nurse him the same way as I do with his first morning nap. So he gets 2 naps a day. So he already had that like 3rd nursing session of the day. The only thing is that he didn't nap today, so he's probably gonna be a little bit fussy. He's teething, and you guys can see his cheeks. He kind of has like a teething rash. He's just super uncomfortable. His teeth are hurting him, so he misses nap. But usually around this time at 4, I will give him a little bit of extra milk. I'm gonna set him down so I can show you guys what I'm talking about. Put him in the ball pit. But ever since we started trying to fatten him up, what I've been doing is I have been pumping once a day at night. Before I get to bed, usually between 10 and 11, I do 1 pumping session. And in that pumping session, like it takes me a long time. It takes me like half an hour sometimes to get 2 ounces. So I'm able to get 2 extra ounces for him in that session, and then I keep it in the refrigerator, and then the next day, so like today, I'm gonna give him that now like around 4. So it seems that breast milk, he has no issue drinking it from a sippy cup. So this is just fresh breast milk from last night. I put it in the fridge, put it in here now. I don't even heat it up most days. Most days he'll just drink it like this, but this is again another way to give him just a little bit of extra milk on top of our nursing sessions every day. You like your leche? Can't really drink it like that, buddy. Most of the time he'll just drink it really cold like that, but he is liking his milk. I wish that he would drink formula like that. It would make my life so much easier. But breast milk, he likes it like that. All right, so it's 6 o'clock, it is dinner time. So I'm gonna make something really quick for Jackson today. We're gonna kind of do like breakfast for dinner. So I'm gonna give him yogurt actually. So whenever we do yogurt for Jackson, we do whole milk, plain yogurt. So you want yogurt that doesn't have like any special flavoring or anything like that. So this is one that we picked up at Aldi and it's organic and all of that, but it doesn't really taste like much. It's pretty much very plain. So this is what I do with yogurt whenever I want to just put a little bit more flavor in it. So I'll pour the yogurt in a bowl. So I'll do that. Sometimes I'll add in like almond butter. I can kind of make it a little bit sweeter that way. But what I'll normally do is just get like one of these little purees that you get at the store. Like this is like a little apple puree. And you can mix this with the yogurt. It gives it a little bit more flavor. And then you're also getting like a fruit in. So Jackson really likes this. I've given him like the pear one. I've mixed it with the banana one. So really anything that you have, you can just mix that in there. And then that just gives it a little bit more flavor. So let's get him in his high chair because he's getting crazy. All right, so Jackson devoured that yogurt. He ate all of it. He was so excited to eat it. So now what I'll usually do is I'll look at like what I'm having for dinner. So like tonight we're having like this easy like P.F. Chang's frozen dinner, like a chicken fried rice. So I'll look at what I'm eating and see if there's anything that I can pick out of it and give to him. Try to do that with my lunch too. Like if I have something on my plate that I think I can give him to try, I'll do that. But of course it doesn't happen every day. If I'm eating like a giant piece of steak, I'm not gonna give him like a huge piece of steak. But here I was able to pick out just a little bit of rice and like a little piece of carrot, a little bit of the egg, and he loves rice. So this is something that I can just put on his tray since he seems to be into eating at the moment, and just have him kind of work on that. This one is a little bit like spicy, so I didn't want to give him like a ton. I might give him a few more pieces, but I don't like to give him stuff that's like super spicy. And then you guys can watch him chow that down. So Jackson is still working on the last little pieces of rice. Look at him. He has been going to town on that. He really enjoyed it. Yeah? Is it tasty? Is it so yummy? A little rice? He liked it so much. But yeah, that's what dinner looks like. The last thing that he'll do is now when I put him down for bed, I'll nurse him to sleep. So that'll be his last nursing session. And then that's it until the next morning because he goes the entire night without like waking up to eat. But that's gonna be it for today's video because I have to like finish cleaning up over here and stuff. But I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I hope that it was helpful. Again, if you're struggling with a little one who's dealing with weight issues, you know, just hang in there. I know that it's rough to hear that your baby's underweight, but it is something that can be corrected. And remember that babies are different and everyone's metabolism is different. So try not to stress yourself out too much. I mean, easier said than done. I went and I bought like a baby scale and I was like a crazy person for a few weeks, but I'm pretty confident that your baby will be just fine. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this. Make sure to give this video a big thumbs up if you did. Subscribe if you're new, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.